Okay, I think I'm making a video. I haven't made videos for a little while. I've got a few to make. I'm going to make a few videos about simple coloring things, the Shift Control R, much more important sculpting, budgeting, and other items. Now, I have, if you go to the website, my website, I have down here I call it shortcuts and generic macros in this section. And down here I have a generic macros file. Now that file is going to be updated. And some of the things I've updated is including a color coding. So when you press Shift Control C, you can pick a different color. Now to do that, it's so simple to do this. If you record a macro, and then I'm going to not even name it, and I'm going to call it, then I'm going to press F5, go to Special, and then I'm going to go to Constants, take off the text. I've probably shown you this before, I'm sure I have. Then it kind of gets all the colors, and then you would change the color to what you want. Okay, now I'm not going to do that. Then you save the macro, and you put I don't want to do that here. If you want to add a shortcut key later to your macro, all you do is go to macros and then find that macro you created. It was up here, I'm sure. This was just macro 4. Go to options, and you can add a Shift Control C is the one I would use. Whatever you use, whatever you want. C'est la couleur, c'est la même chose en français, je pense. I'm going to make, now what I have done is made a whole series of different color calculations. Okay, and I'm going to add one more macro here. I'm going to make one more so you don't have to see this whole thing. And you can see how kind of the inside of this generic macro works. So maybe we want to make a color for some reason where we put yellow on the background, and let's put a dark blue in the foreground. How's that? Okay, now it's not quite dark enough, but what the heck. Now, so I made a couple of other colors here. Now, to do this in the macro, when you implement this in the macro, I've got the following color options. So these are now all the color options, and you can, I'm working on the generic macros as I talk. So these are the color options. Now what I do is these color options, that's got a range name. It's called color option. Okay, and if you go to the generic macros, go all the way up to the top, it's got a public, this is really important, it's got a public color code. So as soon as you open the generic macros, it defines this range name for you. And then it also, because I have an application on key, it goes to the color macro. So let's find this color macro. Now, what I'm going to do, Control F, once I find this, oops, I want to go down, so excuse me for that. Let's find the next one, and the next one. Here's the color. Now you simply say, okay, since this was a public variable on the top, I really didn't explain that very well, but since it was a public variable, it is seen in any other place in the file. So you can use a select case. That selecting case color code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what I just did is I changed 5, 6, and 7. So what I'm going to do, well, I'll just, and then after that it goes to create the tab colors for all the sheets. Now, I created a macro too that just records the colors. So this one, you know, this is number 2, and of course I don't want any of this. So this is now option 5, and this is option 6. This is option 6. And this is option 7. Okay. That's that one I just showed you how to do. So it's actually, this is option 7. Okay. So what you're going to be able to do then is with the generic macro, I hope I took all of that. So we just made macros that record all these colors. And then I'm going to cut them and put them into where we just looked. Okay, and this was simply, we just put, I'm replacing what I did here. So I was lazy last time. Case 5, case 6, case 7. And then end select is at the very end. So we just move that. That's how to use the case command. It helps with if you just have a variable that goes from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. So hopefully a couple of these things that I just wanted to show you on this was, number 1, how to use this, and I haven't really finished, and then kind of how it works. Case 5, how about we tab it over a little, and we'll put case 6. And we'll move it over a little. Now I'm going to, and then case 7. Okay. Whoops. Okay. And finally we have this end select. And then we go to this linked tab colors. Now, here's how it really works. Okay, we can use this one. We've got some inputs that come from a different sheet. I mean, some numbers that come from a different sheet, rather. Not the true and falses, by the way. Let's unformat these. But we'll just use black. Okay, fill that. Uh-oh. Oh, I have a conditional formatting on that. Shit! So, where's an input? This is the only input. Crap. That's an input. Now let's make this 200. That's an input. So now, here's how it works. You open the generic macros. After you open them, I would like to have option number 5. So right here, Shift Control 7, by the way, Shift Control B. If I want option number, I should maybe not B. If I want that color option, I should put I have a here. I'm sorry. This should have been equal match this one against all of these, so we can use a match and then press comma 0 just in case, and then along there you put index. I'm kind of a believer in using lookup instead of match and index so much these days, and I'm a believer in making your own match and index function and using match and index. So on this one, if you don't want to allow somebody to use it, let's go to data validation, and instead of any value, let's put any value. No, not any value. Let's put a whole number, and let's say it's got to be between 1 and 7. And that's okay, but the big thing is here to put an error alert. And you put an error, and you put you imbecile. Can't you see that you are, and I got this wrong, supposed to enter the option with the drop-down box. And then you can also put an input message and put color option, and you can put this allows different color inputs. Please select the thing to the left. Okay. Don't enter here. So I did it wrong. I should have, on the settings, put maximum equals minus 999999992, and the maximum is minus 9999992. Unless you put that in, it's going to get it wrong. So now if you press number 5 here, it says, you imbecile, can't you do this? And here is where, let's press Shift Control 7 and Shift Control B. That's really input here. Color option. What the hell? I don't know. Hell, I don't know. That's where. So let's take a color option 7 that we just changed. That match and index will work. And now when we go to this one, if you press Shift Control C, okay, just a minute. Fuck. Okay, I hadn't hit the implement. Let me do that again. Let's take color option 5. Okay, and we implement. It should really have put another color option here. You know, oh well. Now if I press Shift Control C on this sheet, I hope that was the color option 5. If we press color option 4, again you need to just have generic macros open. You implement it, it puts color option 4. You press Shift Control C, and you get color option 4. And if you want to bring some data from this other sheet, okay, and you want to, let's say, now this number comes from 100 in this sheet. And you right-click and you tab color, and make this, I don't know, okay, a purple color, why not? Ooh, we're going to have too many purples, but now you can see that it's a purple color from that. Why don't we make this sheet, whatever, not red, we already have a red, and it's hard to find kind of dark colors that really work well with this stuff, but let's maybe, how about this color here, this kind of ugly color, whatever. Shift Control C, then you can't even see it properly, but this is a different color. I think you get the idea. Okay, one more time, you change this. So as a review, here is the review. If you want to do this kind of macro, first go to F5, just record a macro on the F5 and all that. It's an easy macro. Then use the case select to put some other things in. And this is pretty important, making a public variable. Okay? So that's that.